Each December, advocates for the unhoused gather to honor a group that is often spoken of as a problem and instead acknowledge them as individuals. Here to tell us about the annual Homeless Memorial Service is Ywana Allen, the Chief Public Affairs Officer for Changing Homeless. Ywana, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good morning.
We're also joined by Paul Stasi, the Executive Director of City Rescue Mission. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So, Ywana, this memorial is always held around the winter solstice. It is the first day of winter, also the longest day of the year, or the longest night, I should say, of the year. And so it's often cold. It is a time where people sometimes find the idea of homelessness a little more relatable. Tell us a little bit about what this event does, who it brings together.
Sure. Thank you again for having us. So this event is really important for our community. Communities across the country actually recognize this day. And oftentimes people don't think about the challenges that come along with homelessness aside from what they physically see. There's a lack of connection. You know, we have friends and family that we can reach out and call and spend time with if we want. Oftentimes, persons who are unhoused don't have that, along with the other challenges that come along with, being on the streets. And so the memorial really brings together folks from across our community, our member agencies, people who are in the work and who do the work every day in terms of helping people who are unhoused. Oftentimes they are their clients or people they're working with regularly, and then the family members also of the persons who they may not have a traditional service in terms of their lives. And so this may be the only time that there is anything that publicly kind of acknowledges them and recognizes their lives.
Paul, humanizing unhoused people is, can be pretty critical to motivating people to kind of care about outcomes. And it can be really easy for people to detach from people that, are living in often very dire circumstances. So what is how does this help the larger community connect with the issue or the people?
Yeah, so I think it makes it makes the whole situation of homelessness real. And if I could just give you a story, Johnny was living on the streets for years, sleeping on a sidewalk. He had an addiction to alcohol and crack. And one day, one of our counselors saw him and invited him to lunch and told him about our long-term recovery program because a lot of people deal with addiction issues. And he came into the program and he later said, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. But about a month after he came into the program, he had a pretty serious heart attack. And I really realized that if Johnny was still out there on the street, he would have died. But I'm so grateful that he was in our program and he was surrounded by caring people, and we got him into the hospital right away, and he came through it really well, and now he has dental work, he has new teeth, he had glaucoma surgery, he graduated from our program, and he's doing great, and he's volunteering at our thrift store. But it just reminds me of those who never made it to our doors. And this time of year especially, we're called to count our blessings and to remember those who have passed away while experiencing homelessness, as well as those who are still out there waiting for that hope.
The confirmed speakers, in addition to the two of you at this event, Dawn Gilman, who's the CEO of Changing Homelessness, is also one of the speakers. And a couple of years ago, she participated in a podcast with the author and social scientist Malcolm Gladwell on his podcast, Revisionist History. And he asked Dawn Gilman about the annual event. Let's just take a listen to what she told him.
Some portion of the people who do not get help end up dying on the streets. Almost every community in the country has a service for those who've fallen. It happens in late December on Winter Solstice. It's become a tradition. In Jacksonville, the service is held at the City Rescue Mission downtown. A choir sings, a local pastor gives the homily. Then Dawn Gilman performs her final duty of the year.
I've had the honor for the last 10 years of reading the names, and the list is always too long. And before I read the name, I remind everybody that there are 6 categories of homeless people, and that's someone's mother or someone's father, someone's son or someone's daughter, or their sister or their brother. So it's more than dots on a scatter plot.
Ywana, it's a reminder that this is, a very emotional event, not just for the families, but for the participants and for people who have either, lived through homelessness or have known someone who has.
Absolutely. And we try to really make it a celebration of their lives. Prior to working for Changing Homelessness, I consulted for the organization for 11 years. And I remember when I first started and I was asked to help with the memorial, and I felt so ashamed because I never thought about what happens to someone if they passed away while experiencing homelessness. It never crossed my mind as a young adult. I never thought about that. And so this is something that I actually look forward to because I feel like it's something that, the persons who passed away will never know that their lives were celebrated in such a way. But we come together and we celebrate them just as if they were our actual kinfolk. And so I think that's really important for our community. And all are welcome to attend the event.
Yeah, and Paul, the event is open to the public. It is a free event. It is on December 19th, this Friday at 8:30 in the morning. Who would you recommend come to the event? Do you think it serves the wider community?
Oh, sure. I think anybody who has a concern about those who are experiencing homelessness, because they're really our invisible neighbors.
And Ywana, this is something that you will be a part of as well. Anything different this year? Do we know how many people are going to be honored?
As of right now, I think the list is about 31 or 32 names thus far. And I will, unfortunately, that could even increase between now and Friday, realistically.
Right. Would you also encourage people that maybe don't have a direct connection to come just to sort of get a sense of the event and the people?
Absolutely. I think it is something that anyone who is concerned about homelessness or who has experienced maybe a loss of someone or who just wants to honor the lives of persons who, died on our streets to come and celebrate their lives.
Well, Ywana Allen, Paul Stasi, thank you so much for being here. We have a link and you can RSVP for that event by going to that link.
Thank you for
Thanks
having
for being
us.
Thank you.